Hello and welcome back to our channel. It's so wonderful to have you here with us today.
Hi, everyone. I'm Jake, and we have such a practical and important topic for you today. We're going to be talking all about jobs and work.
And I'm Lily. Being able to talk about your job in English is such an essential skill, whether you're networking, making new friends, or in a professional setting.
Absolutely. Today, we'll cover how to describe what you do, where you work, your responsibilities, and we'll share lots of useful vocabulary.
Before we begin, if you find this conversation helpful, please give this video a thumbs up. It really supports our channel and helps us reach more learners.
And if you're new here, we'd love to have you join our learning community. Please subscribe and click that bell so you never miss a lesson.
Okay, let's get started. Jake, when people ask you, what do you do? How do you usually answer that question?
Well, I usually say I work in a bookshop, or I'm a bookseller. It's simple and clear. How about you, Lily?
I say I'm an English teacher, or I teach English. It's direct and people immediately understand what I do.
That's a good point. Sometimes people use different phrases. Some say, I work as a, or my job is. There are several ways to express the same idea.
Exactly. And it's not just about the job title. People often want to know where you work, too. So, Jake, where exactly do you work?
I work at a small independent bookshop called Page Turners in the city center. It's a lovely place with a really friendly atmosphere.
Oh, that sounds wonderful. I work at a language school called Global English Institute. We have students from all over the world.
That must be so interesting. Now, let's talk about work schedules. What are your working hours like, Lily?
I work from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., Monday through Friday. It's a standard full-time schedule. What about your hours at the bookshop?
My schedule varies each week. Sometimes I work morning shifts from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., and sometimes evening shifts from 12 p.m. to 8 p.m. I also work every other Saturday.
That sounds quite flexible, but also a bit unpredictable. Do you enjoy having different shifts?
I actually do. It keeps things interesting, though sometimes I wish I had a more regular schedule like yours.
There are pros and cons to both, I think. Now, let's dive into what we actually do at our jobs. Jake, what are your main responsibilities at the bookshop?
Well, my main duties include helping customers find books, operating the cash register, organizing the shelves, and unpacking new book deliveries. I also help plan our monthly book club meetings.
That sounds like a lot of variety. You must meet so many interesting people.
I really do. Every day is different. What about your teaching responsibilities?
My main responsibilities are preparing lessons, teaching classes, grading assignments, and having meetings with other teachers. I also help students who need extra practice.
That sounds very rewarding. Do you teach different levels of students?
Yes, I teach beginners, intermediate, and advanced students. Each level has its own challenges and rewards.
I imagine it must be very satisfying to see your students progress. At the bookshop, I love seeing customers discover new books they're excited about.
That's a nice feeling, indeed. Now let's talk about work environments. What's the atmosphere like at your bookshop?
It's generally very calm and quiet. We have comfortable chairs where people can sit and read, and we play soft classical music. It's a peaceful place to work.
That sounds lovely. My work environment is quite different. It's usually energetic and noisy with students practicing speaking and having discussions.
That sounds fun, but probably tiring too.
It can be, but I enjoy the energy. Now, an important topic. What do you like most about your job?
Oh, I have several things I really enjoy. First, I love being surrounded by books all day. Second, I enjoy recommending books to customers and hearing what they think later. And third, I have great colleagues.
Those are wonderful aspects. For me, I love seeing my students gain confidence in speaking English. It's amazing to watch them progress from knowing just a few words to having full conversations.
That must be incredibly rewarding. Are there any aspects of your job that you find challenging?
Sometimes dealing with difficult students can be challenging. Also, preparing lessons takes a lot of time and energy. What about challenges at the bookshop?
The physical aspect can be tiring, standing for long hours and carrying heavy boxes of books. Also, sometimes we have to deal with unhappy customers, though that doesn't happen often.
Every job has its challenges, doesn't it? Now, let's talk about career paths. How did you get into bookselling?
I've always loved reading, and after university, I saw an advertisement for a job at the bookshop. I applied and got the position. I've been there for 3 years now.
That's wonderful that you turned your passion into a career. For me, I studied education in university and always knew I wanted to teach. I specifically chose to teach English because I love languages.
It's great when you can build a career around something you're passionate about. Do you think you'll always be a teacher?
I think so, though I might move into teacher training or curriculum development in the future. What about you? Do you see yourself staying in bookselling?
I really enjoy it, but I might eventually want to manage my own bookshop or work in publishing. It's good to have goals for the future.
Absolutely. Now let's talk about work-life balance. How do you manage your time between work and personal life?
Since my schedule changes each week, I have to be quite organized. I make sure to plan activities with friends in advance, and I always try to have at least 2 days off in a row to rest.
That sounds sensible. I'm lucky to have weekends free, so I use Saturdays for chores and errands, and Sundays for relaxing and spending time with family.
Having that regular schedule must make planning much easier. Do you ever bring work home with you?
Unfortunately, yes. I often bring papers to grade or lessons to prepare home with me. I'm trying to be better about leaving work at work.
I understand. I'm lucky that way. When I leave the bookshop, my work stays there.
That's definitely an advantage of your job. Now let's talk about salaries and benefits. Is this okay to discuss?
Of course, it's an important aspect of any job. I earn a reasonable salary for retail work, and I get discounts on books, which is a nice perk. We also get paid vacation time.
Those are good benefits. As a teacher, I have a stable salary, health insurance, and longer vacation periods, which align with school holidays.
Those longer vacations must be wonderful for traveling or just recharging.
They really are. Now, let's discuss something many people experience: stress at work. How do you handle stressful situations at the bookshop?
When we have big sales or holiday rushes, it can get quite busy and stressful. I try to stay organized and focused, and I take deep breaths when I feel overwhelmed. My colleagues are very supportive too.
That's a good approach. Teaching can be stressful when dealing with difficult students or heavy workloads. I find that talking with other teachers really helps, and I make sure to take proper breaks during the day.
Having supportive colleagues makes such a difference, doesn't it?
It really does. Now let's talk about skills needed for our jobs. What skills do you think are most important for working in a bookshop?
Customer service skills are essential. Being friendly and helpful. Organization is important for keeping the shop tidy. Also, having good knowledge about books is very useful.
Those are great points. For teaching, you need patience, good communication skills, creativity in lesson planning, and, of course, strong knowledge of the subject you're teaching.
I imagine classroom management is another important skill for teachers.
Absolutely, especially with larger classes. Now, let's talk about daily routines at work. What does your typical workday look like?
When I open the shop, I start by turning on the lights and computers. Then I check for any new book deliveries. Throughout the day, I help customers, work at the cash register, and organize shelves. Before closing, I clean and prepare the shop for the next day.
That sounds like a well-structured day. My day usually starts with preparing my classroom, then I teach 3 or 4 classes, have a lunch break, more classes, and end with planning for the next day or meeting with other teachers.
It sounds like we both have busy but fulfilling days. Now, let's discuss how we talk about our jobs in social situations. What do you say when you meet someone new?
I usually say, I'm an English teacher. And if they seem interested, I might add, I work at a language school with international students.
That's a good approach. I say I work at a bookshop, and if they ask which one, I tell them about page turners.
It's nice when people are genuinely interested in what you do. Now, let's talk about career development. Are there opportunities for advancement in your field?
In bookselling, you can become a senior bookseller, then assistant manager, and eventually shop manager. There are also opportunities in publishing if I wanted to change direction.
That's good to have options. In teaching, I could become a senior teacher, move into school administration, or specialize in teaching certain types of students or skills.
It's important to think about the future and where you might want to go in your career.
Absolutely. Now, let's discuss something many people wonder about: how to describe their job if it's unusual or complicated.
That's a good point. Not everyone has a simple job title like teacher or bookseller. Some people work in very specialized fields.
Exactly. In those cases, it's helpful to explain what you do in simple terms rather than using technical job titles.
For example, instead of saying, I'm a digital marketing strategist, someone might say, I help companies advertise their products online.
Perfect example. Using simple language makes it easier for everyone to understand. Now, let's talk about changing jobs. Have you ever thought about changing careers?
I've thought about it, but I'm quite happy where I am for now. I think if I did change, I'd want to stay in something book-related.
That makes sense. I've always wanted to teach, so I can't imagine doing anything else. Though I might want to teach in different countries someday.
That would be an amazing experience. Now, let's discuss workplace relationships. How important are good relationships with colleagues?
Extremely important. Since we spend so much time at work, having good relationships with colleagues makes the day much more enjoyable. We often eat lunch together and support each other during busy times.
I completely agree. My colleagues are like a second family. We celebrate birthdays together and help each other during busy times.
That's wonderful. Now, let's talk about job satisfaction. What makes you feel satisfied at work?
When a customer thanks me for helping them find the perfect book, or when we have a successful book club meeting, I feel really satisfied. Also, when the shop looks tidy and organized.
Those are great moments. For me, it's when a student finally understands a difficult concept or when I see them using English confidently in real situations.
It's clear that we both find our work meaningful, which is so important.
It really is. Now, let's discuss how technology has changed our jobs. How has technology affected bookselling?
We now use computers for inventory and sales, and we have a website where people can order books online. But interestingly, many people still prefer coming into the physical shop.
That's nice to hear. In teaching, technology has changed everything. We use smartboards, online resources, and video calls for lessons. It's made teaching more interactive, but also more complex.
Technology definitely affects every profession these days. Now, let's talk about advice for people looking for jobs in our fields.
That's a great topic. For teaching, I'd say get proper qualifications, gain experience through volunteering, and be prepared for continuous learning.
For bookselling, I'd recommend reading widely, gaining customer service experience, and being genuinely passionate about books and helping people.
Good advice for both fields. Now let's discuss something many people struggle with: talking about their job in English when it's not their first language.
That can be challenging. I'd suggest learning the basic vocabulary for your field and practicing simple sentences to describe what you do.
Exactly. Start with simple phrases like I work in or my job is, and build from there.
It's also helpful to learn how to talk about your responsibilities and your workplace.
Absolutely. Now, let's talk about cultural differences in workplaces. Have you noticed any differences in how people talk about their jobs in different cultures?
That's an interesting question. In some cultures, people are very direct about what they do, while in others, they might be more modest.
Yes, and in some cultures, people ask about your job immediately when they meet you, while in others, it might be considered too personal.
It's good to be aware of these cultural differences. Now, let's discuss remote work, since that's become so common. Do either of us have experience with that?
I've done some online teaching, which is similar to remote work. It has advantages like flexibility, but I miss the personal interaction with students and colleagues.
I've never worked remotely since I need to be physically present in the shop, but I can see both the benefits and challenges.
It's definitely changed how many people think about work. Now, let's talk about job interviews. What advice would you give for talking about your job in an interview?
I'd say be clear and confident about what you do, give specific examples of your responsibilities, and show enthusiasm for your work.
Great advice. I'd add that it's important to be honest about your experience and skills and to ask questions about the job too.
Asking questions shows you're genuinely interested. Now, let's discuss how our jobs have changed over time.
Teaching has changed a lot with new technology and teaching methods. There's more focus on interactive learning and less on traditional lectures.
Bookselling has changed with the rise of online retailers, but there's also been a resurgence of interest in local bookshops as community centers.
That's wonderful to hear. Now let's talk about the future of our professions. Where do you see bookselling in 10 years?
I think physical bookshops will continue to be important as community centers, but they'll likely incorporate more technology and events to stay relevant.
For teaching, I think online and blended learning will become more common, but the role of the teacher will remain essential.
It's interesting to think about how our jobs might evolve. Now, let's discuss something practical, useful vocabulary for talking about jobs.
That's a great idea. Let's start with basic terms like profession, occupation, and career.
Profession is quite formal, like teaching profession or medical profession. Occupation is more general, and career refers to your working life over time.
Exactly. Then we have job title, which is your specific position, like manager or assistant.
Workplace is where you work, and colleagues or coworkers are the people you work with.
Responsibilities or duties are what you do in your job, and qualifications are the skills or education needed.
Salary is how much money you earn, and benefits are the extra things like health insurance or vacation time.
Full-time usually means around 40 hours a week, and part-time is fewer hours.
Shift work means working different hours on different days, like I do at the bookshop.
And overtime means working extra hours, often for extra pay.
Commute is how you get to work, and work-life balance is about having time for both work and personal life.
Those are all essential terms. Now, let's talk about verbs we use with jobs. To work for a company, to work at a place, to work as a specific role.
To be responsible for certain tasks, to report to your manager, to collaborate with colleagues.
Perfect. Now, let's discuss how to make small talk about jobs in social situations.
Common questions include what do you do, where do you work, and how long have you worked there?
And do you enjoy your work, or what's your favorite part of your job?
These are great for starting conversations. Now, let's talk about how to describe your job if you're between jobs or looking for work.
You could say, I'm currently looking for new opportunities, or I'm exploring different career paths.
Or I'm taking some time to consider my next career move.
Those are positive ways to frame it. Now, let's discuss how to talk about career changes.
You might say, I'm considering a career change, or I'm looking to transition into a different field.
It's helpful to explain what skills are transferable between different jobs.
Absolutely. Now, I think we've covered so much about talking about jobs. Let's do a quick summary.
We've discussed how to describe what you do, where you work, your responsibilities, work schedules, and workplace environment.
We've talked about skills needed, career paths, job satisfaction, and how to discuss your job in social and professional situations.
We've also covered useful vocabulary and cultural considerations.
Now it's time for our favorite part, the question of the day.
Today's question is, what do you do for work, and what's your favorite part of your job?
Please share in the comments below. You can write something like, I'm a nurse and my favorite part is helping patients feel better.
Or I work in an office and I enjoy the teamwork with my colleagues.
We read every comment and love learning about your lives and experiences.
Don't be shy. Your job story might inspire someone else.
So, to summarize, today we had a comprehensive conversation about talking about your job in English.
We hope you now feel more confident describing your work, your responsibilities, and your career aspirations.
Thank you so much for joining us for this important conversation about work and careers.
If you found this discussion helpful, please give this video a thumbs up. It really helps our channel.
And please share this with someone who might find it useful for their English practice.
Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell for more practical English conversations.
From both of us, Jake and Lily, thank you for being here and for your commitment to learning English.
Keep practicing how to talk about your job, and remember, every job has value and interesting stories behind it.
Goodbye.
See you in the next podcast. Bye.